Why didn't I think of this before? Hello, my juicy jelly beans. Can someone tell me where spring has gone? Because I must have missed it. Everything is so dull lately that I really need some colour to brighten me up today. So I thought we could do a curly whirly. And this stencil looks like the perfect tool to give us that bit of visual fun. Everything I'm using today will be linked in the description box along with any juicy jelly bean discounts I've got for you. Now, you've seen me use Boo and Nicole molds before, and this mold in particular I've used so many times, and it's still in mint condition. Yes, their molds are matte, but I personally think it's a plus, as this gives us the option to make it shiny if that's the look we're going for, or keep it matte. I need to get this stencil to fit inside the mold, so I'm going to cut it to size. Perfect fit. I just need to make sure it's more or less centered. I have dog hairs everywhere. I cuddle my furry baby a lot, so I may need to start doing my videos naked to avoid hair flying everywhere. Grab some sticky tape to eliminate any dust, as we need a nice clean surface. I found this tube pot of pigments on Temu, and they look nice and bright, so I thought I'd try them out. I also got these brushes, and boy oh boy, big mistake. They all come sealed, and I always find there's a lot of pigment stuck to them, and I hate wasting colour. Grab a small brush and begin to colour in a circular motion. You can go as wide or as thin as you prefer. I've decided to go for about 1.5 centimetres with each colour, more or less. Look at these awful brushes. The bristles are coming off like crazy. My fault for getting cheap brushes. Sometimes cheap comes out expensive. Totally useless brushes. Next up is the purple. I like to just go over the blue to blend the colours in a bit and avoid harsh lines. That way we also get a gradient effect. Next up, the pink, which is a stunning bright colour. Now with the orange. I really love the mesh with the pink, the orange and the purple together. Very tequila sunrise. We're going in now with the yellow. These colours are coming out nice and bright, and you only need a small amount. And lastly, we have the green. I have so many fallen out bristles, it's making me really agitated. Go back in repeating the same colours till you've completely covered the whole mould. I've completed mine, and with the last colour, I also coloured the border. Now we need to get these darn bristles out. I have the perfect tool which I've been wanting to show you for ages. Is this fluff brush spectacular or what? So bling bling. It's nice and big and super soft. Perfect for this, as we don't want to scratch off any colour. At least this brush is working. Grab your stencil and place it into your coloured in mould. Try and get it as centred as possible. We're going to need to prepare our next tool. You'll need a black needle bottle. I'm going to pull out the needle as we won't be needing it, and it's just going to make it harder for us. Now we need some high viscosity UV resin, and I'm going to be using J Addiction's one, which is my favourite to be honest, and I've tried a few. Fill up your bottle to about halfway. Using a needle bottle is totally optional. You could use the normal UV bottle if you prefer, but I just find that these needle bottles are great when you want to be a little bit more precise, and it also gives you more flow control. Take the rubber thingamajig off, as it's only going to get in our way, and put the cap back on. Put it to one side for later. Don't worry, light won't get into it, it's secure. We're going to need some white acrylic paint for this next step. Add a small dollop into a little dish. We won't need much. I must sound so stingy. Guilty. I just want my art material to last forever. Is anyone else like this, or is it just me? Grab a soft blending brush. This one will be bristle safe. Dab your brush lightly into your paint and begin to pat over the stencil. Don't do brush strokes as we could end up with too much paint and it can bleed underneath. This is just to give us the outline so it doesn't have to be perfect. Make sure to cover the whole piece. Hold down your stencil with your fingertips so that it doesn't move. After a while, I got tired and I used a sponge. Yes, I should have thought of that before too. Let the paint dry before you peel off the stencil. This has dried and now we need our needle bottle with the high viscosity UV and a UV torch. Begin to go over the white bits with your needle bottle and cure for about 5 seconds as you go along. We just want the UV to stay put. For the numbers, I decided to go over them completely with the UV resin. Once you've completed it, that's when we really need to cure it properly with a UV lamp. Go over the whole piece, curing it under the lamp for about a minute or two, making sure you've done every section. Next up, you'll need some tweezers, preferably ones that aren't too sharp. Begin to peel off the cured UV resin. Yes, lots of fun. It won't take as long as adding the UV resin, I promise. Why didn't I think of this before? Shake the mold so that the UV resin dislodges from the mold. So much easier. So much faster. Any pieces that retaliate, just use your tweezers. By the way, don't forget to add your leftover UV resin back into its original bottle. It's time to prepare our resin. I'm going to be using J Addiction 4-hour demold, which is a 1-to-1 ratio and high viscosity. I want this to cure fast, so this is perfect as this piece doesn't fit in my resinous curing machine. My resin is prepared and I made 400 ml. I added some white pigment and mixed it all in. Pour the content onto your mold. I like to slap my mold, especially as this resin is really thick, to help the bubbles rise up. Pour all the way to the top. I was about 100 ml too short, so I should have prepared 500 instead of 4. Leave it to cure completely. Big thank you to all my subscribers for being so colourful and welcoming. Don't forget to give us a like if you've enjoyed listening to me faffle. And subscribe to be part of the Jellybean family. Love you lots. Don't be mad, but I'm a bit loopy-loo today and I forgot to push the record button. And I really wanted you to see the matte version from the mold. I had prepared more resin and added a few drops of Marabou Diamond and the smallest, teensy amount of Hemway's Silver Holographic Glitter, and I poured it over the piece. I'd like to also go around the edges with resin, giving it a much smoother finish. Any drops on the back, I just sand them down with my Dremel. Use a silicone tool to pop any bubbles, especially those trapped in the numbers. I like the fact that the numbers blend into the background. That way they don't overpower. Keep watching for the end results. Toodles!